Chat, are you single or in a relationship? Let me know. I think the tides are shifting now. We used to see the male loneliness epidemic, but I think men can be alone and not lonely. But I think women can't be alone, they can only be lonely. Let's get off into this.
Can we talk about why modern women are lonelier than ever? Because nobody wants to admit the real reason. I see it everywhere. Successful women with amazing careers, perfect Instagram feeds, but they're absolutely miserable and isolated. And I know because I used to be one of them. We were told that independence was everything, that we didn't need anyone, that needing people was weakness, so we built these perfect little walls around ourselves. We chose careers over relationships, being right over being loved, and proving ourselves over connecting with others.
What I've always said is these women turned into the men they've always wanted to be with. Should have bought a Honda, put it on a t-shirt. They've turned into modern men. Women saw men and said, that's what I yearn for in a man, therefore I should be that. That's not what you should do, ladies. That is not what you should do, because you're just going to isolate yourselves. Men attract women by being successful. Women don't attract men by being successful. It's not a thing.
We pushed away anyone who tried to get close to us because we had to be strong. And now we're sitting in our perfectly decorated apartments, scrolling through dating apps, wondering why we feel so empty inside. We have everything modern feminism promised us, but we've never been more alone. Because the truth is, humans are wired for connection. Especially women, we need community, partnership, and deep relationships. But we've been convinced that wanting these things makes us weak or pick-me's. The loneliness epidemic isn't an accident. It's what happens when you tell women to reject everything that actually fulfills them. You can have all the success in the world, but if you don't have real connection, you have nothing.
100%. Well, and then these women would rather marry their job than marry a man. They'd rather be with their company and be like, I worked my way up and, I'm a social media marketing manager and I'm so successful, thinking that men are going to think that's hot when we don't think that's hot. The female loneliness epidemic. What does she got to say?
I always like to say that there's a male loneliness epidemic. I don't see it. I seriously don't see it. I see a female loneliness epidemic. You know why? We all know how social media practically destroyed our strength to commitment to only one person, because social media is like a catalog where you can buy people from. You search by category.
She must be Russian talking about these mail order brides. You can buy people. I don't know about you, but I don't see a lot of people for purchase. Well, personally for me. Where are you seeing these people at? Some human trafficking going on.
You always look who is the best, what is the best new version that you can get, and then especially men, they will get it. They don't think they will get it. They will text you and be like, oh, you're so special and blah, blah, blah. But then again, they be hitting on other women who are in your league just to see who is going to fall for it and give them their validation, because validation is a hell of a drug these days. Everyone is posting something to get validation. Even I do, We're all addicted to validation from the outside, but never from the inside. Not inside in a sense of ourselves, but inside in the sense of the people in our direct circle. Because if you truly love someone, you will only need their validation. The other ones won't matter to you. But
the problem is these days is there's too much choice. I mean, there is some validity to her point talking about, it's like a catalog. And I think, in chat, put a 1 in the chat if you agree. I think the big problem here is that people are afraid of commitment. People are terrified of commitment because they feel like if I commit, this is it. Shibit and I shut up on a Honda, put it on a t-shirt. If I commit, this is it. I got nothing else to do, nowhere else to go. People have commitment problems. I was interviewing somebody on Are You Delusional a couple days ago. And this guy first off said he wanted to be a video game designer. Then he said he wanted to go to the military. And then he said he wanted to be a gunsmith. Like, he just couldn't commit to one thing. I got a really, really close buddy who is, his problem right now is he's dating, but as soon as he gets past that little, like, first little dating phase, he's like, well, if they don't chase me, then I'm not going to keep chasing them. And I'm like, bro, the whole point is for you to chase. Men are predatory. We hunt. Why do you think that when you go to the mall, the men's section's at the very, very back and it's got 3 racks versus the women's section, it's all over the place? It's because women scavenge. They're scavengers. If we were in the wild right now, we had to go back to living primal, living in a very primal way, like Bear Grylls, The Island. Women are more of scavengers. They go and pick berries. They grab leaves. They grab twigs. They come back. Men are like, I'm going out to kill an animal. That's what it is. We're very predatory in our mindset. So that's why they have one section of the men's stuff in the back, because they know that the women are going to pick around and the dude's just going to go back to the back. He's going to buy what he wants and he's going to leave. Have you ever noticed when you go to the grocery store versus maybe your girl goes to the grocery store, or when a man goes to the grocery store versus a woman, a guy goes in, at least for me, I go in, I grab the one thing I wanted or the 2 things I needed, and then I leave. Cass is like, well, let's go peruse a little bit. Let's look around and we'll go up and down these aisles. And then before we know it, we went to Target for one thing, baby formula, and now we left with 15 things. But that's just how women are. Women are different biologically and instinctually. Men are different as well. We're very predatory. We go in, we hunt, we kill, we feel good. It's the same thing with chasing in a relationship or in the courting phase. Like, if you want a woman, you have to show her more interest than she's showing you. It's part of the game. And if we want to switch that game, now we're putting women in a masculine frame where they're like, no, I want to be chased. All my buddies that want to be chased by women, guess what? They're single. Because women aren't going to chase you. Women want to be chased. It's part of it. It's part of it. It's part of the game. I don't think that will ever change because our instincts and our biology will never change. You may not like it, but it's part of it. Now, if you don't want to chase women at all, that's fine. But you have to become the top 1% of all men. You have to be 6'2", 6'4", 5 plus. You have to have tons of money. You have to have a lot of resources and assets, and then those women will chase you. But then the problem is they're falling in love with what you are and not who you are. That's what's tough, is when you do garner a lot of resources. So it's like when you do become hyper successful, women are falling in love with you for what you are, not who you are. But when you're a regular everyday guy, if you chase these women and give them some effort, they're going to fall in love with who you are. Like Cass fell in love with who I was. I was broke as a joke when I met her. But guess who was doing the courting and chasing? I was. Because I've always said women that are hard to get are easy to keep. Women that are easy to get are hard to keep. So if you can get a woman that you have to actually give her some energy, and you have to actually try, and then when you finally do get her, more than likely she's easy to keep. But if you get a woman that's really easy to keep and she falls head over heels for you immediately, it's going to be very difficult to keep her attention in the long run.
Male loneliness epidemic is a real thing, then that means evolution is working the way it's supposed to work. Through natural selection, we women as a whole are choosing to leave behind the losers. And we are only...
I don't think that's necessarily the case. I think there's a lot of guys that aren't losers, but I think there's a lot of women that are extremely delusional, thinking they all qualify for the top 1% of men. I think that's what it is.
Picking the best. There's no...
Because the thing is, dude, I wasn't the best when Cass picked me. I was a regular. I still consider myself a regular, everyday, normal, average guy. People don't walk up to me in the mall or when we're out and about like, "Oh my God, are you Brad Pitt's cousin?" Nobody's saying that. Nobody. I don't have women in my DMs. Nobody's blowing up my phone. The only people that are you guys. But no women are.
Reason why we should get upset about this. We should be happy and celebrate because Mother Nature is doing what it needs to do.
The other day, this guy commented on one of my TikToks and he said, I've been seeing so many single moms with these babies on their hips. Like, why are there so many single moms with infants or babies?
Single mother epidemic.
Single mom.
A lot of you ladies out there, I like to call them this, though.
She's a runner, she's a track star.
That's usually my favorite term.
Or mothers who are single and pregnant. Like, I keep seeing it pop up more and more. Like, why is this being normalized? Like, what's this new trend? Do you want to know what's happening, sir? Men. That's what's happening.
I love it. It's never the fact that she picked a bad man, let him skleege in her, and then had the kid. It's never her fault.
Do you really honestly think that it is convenient for women to be single and pregnant, single with a newborn, single with an infant? Because let me tell you, it's not. It's not our first choice, okay? It's not.
Oh, have you been burned, Rebecca?
Not a fun little thing we do. Pregnancy, postpartum, and having an infant is one of the most vulnerable times in a woman's life. Do you really think that we want to spend that alone? Do you think we really want to raise babies alone? We don't. Okay. Perhaps to me, I would have had a supportive, kind, good partner to help me through my pregnancy, to help me through postpartum, to help me raise my baby. Like, do you think I want to be a single mother with an infant on my hip? Because let me tell you, it wasn't my first choice.
Here's the thing. You must have wanted it if you did it.
Shots fired!
You don't just have to have unprotected sex and let dudes cheese inside of you. Where's the logic in this?
You think I wanted this? You really think I just wanted to be a single mom?
I mean, you must have if you're bucking dudes raw. I'm just saying, where's the accountability at, chat? Donde está the accountability? You're letting dudes cheese in you raw. You must have been wanting to be a single mom. If you weren't in a relationship with him or married to him, it looks like that's what you wanted.
Maybe you should look at the men who are cheating on their wives while they're pregnant, cheating on their wives while they're postpartum, abandoning their children, abandoning their families, divorcing their wives, getting women pregnant and having zero responsibility and doing zero to help or be involved in their family's life.
Well, I mean, why would they have any responsibility when we have no reproductive rights? You can choose to abort, but I don't get to opt out of child support. That's not fair. You know, I can say, hey, I don't want the kid, but it's up to you. You have the autonomy over the child's life, not I. Now, I'm not for abortion. I'm for people making good choices and not having children out of wedlock. So if you're going to have kids, be married first.
Because they are the reason why it is so prevalent. I'm going to tell you that right now. These women aren't just waking up 6 months pregnant and being like, oh, you know what? I'm going to leave my husband. I think I'm just going to divorce him. Or with an infant on their hip, just like, you know what? I'm going to get back out in the dating world. Like, no, this isn't our first choice, let me tell you.
Yeah, hey, you say it might not be your first choice, might be your second or third, though.
No! God!
I'm just saying, dude, like, it's so hard to feel bad for these women because you don't just get pregnant on accident. You know, you may step on a nail on accident, or you may trip on accident, but I don't think women ever get pregnant on accident unless I miss something, chat.
From now, there is going to be a quiet crisis, loneliness in women, especially. Not because women failed, not because they weren't capable.
I love it. It's never because, not because women did anything, because of men.
Or intelligent, but because they were handed a script or a blueprint that left out the consequences. Be self-sufficient, put your career first, you don't need a man. So they followed it. They pushed love down the line. They delayed the family. They treated commitment like something that could always wait until it didn't. Fast forward a few years later. You're older, no partner, no children, no legacy, just some noise to fill that silence. Meanwhile, your grandmothers had way fewer choices, but way stronger direction. They built families. They built the roots. They built something bigger than themselves. And this generation swapped it all for convenience. Legacy for pleasure, meaning for freedom without structure. And here's the part that nobody likes to talk about. The men that they overlooked in their 20s, they didn't just vanish. They were building, failing, learning, becoming disciplined, and becoming men. Men don't peak early. They compound with time. Value grows with time and skill and responsibility. Women don't gain leverage by delaying everything. That is not cruelty. That is reality. Every decision comes with a cost. Modern narratives today did not remove the bill. They just postponed it. And the outcome is usually the same. Distractions instead of connection. Comfort instead of intimacy. And independence without fulfillment. This is not about going backward. It's about correcting the course. We don't need less ambition. We need stronger values, commitment, family, masculine leadership, feminine devotion, and a shared purpose. Because freedom without foundation doesn't liberate. It isolates you completely. And tradition wasn't the problem. Abandoning it was.
Oh my God. This woman's straight cooking. Get her a freaking spatula and a chef's hat. She is straight up cooking. I mean, I agree, man. We've lost the direction of the nuclear family, so therefore people would rather fall in love with their career than fall in love with a partner. It's truly sad. I think men do this better than women can. Like, a dude can go out there and get a job. Why the long face, Rebecca?
Shots fired!
I don't even know what she's going to say, so I may be roasting an ally here. But I think men do this a lot better, where they can go out and get a career and get fulfillment because they do have a longer shelf life in the dating market, you know? You could be 40, 50 plus, look good, be in great shape, and there's women that are in their 30s banging down your door to get to know you.
Know that men have a 600% higher chance of leaving women when we're on our deathbeds. That they will see us suffering in our last moments and walk away because we're not providing them with pom pom. Are you aware of that? I learned this recently.
But also men die earlier than women. So like, I mean, I get that, but where was this study done?
And I'm not saying that I'm surprised.
And then also, if you ask a man, would you rather, like if one of you had to die, would you die or your wife die? Almost every guy's like, take me. So what are y'all talking about?
But I am saying, wow. These are the same men that ask us why we're single, why we take long to pick somebody to mate with.
Yeah, a lot of times y'all don't even take a long time with that though. Y'all just be letting any dude buck. Especially with these 30, 50, 70 plus body counts.
I don't know, Steven. Maybe it's the fact that I don't want to have a child with someone who doesn't give a fuck if I'm on my last breath. Maybe I want to vet this person long enough to ensure they are not part of that 600 percentile. Maybe I'd rather be by myself before I invest my time and energy and worth and livelihood and lineage into someone who just sees me as a conquest.
These women will read one study and die by it. It's crazy work.
I don't know. Does that sound like...
Sees me as a conquest. Baby girl, you're not Napoleon Bonaparte. You're not Christopher Columbus. Nobody's seeing you as a conquest. What is this, bro? 1793? What are we talking about? A conquest. Why women want to be single.
In history where the birth rates have dropped and women don't want to get married anymore. But this is also the first time in history where women no longer financially need to depend on a man. Statistically speaking, girls outperform boys. There are far more women with advanced educational degrees than there are men now. Even with the unequal wage gap, women are still figuring out ways to make more money than men. Before, men could use money to attract women, but it's more than that.
You're a liar!
Men still make more money. Want to know why? Because men do more dangerous jobs, dude.
Stupid.
Y'all can go get higher educations. There's a welder, a plumber, an electrician, and a truck driver that probably make more than you guys. I'm just saying. I'm just like these women want to act like going to college equals a high-paying job. I've said this before. Just because you're competent doesn't mean you're going to be compensated. Should have been a nice. Should have bought a Honda. Put it on a t-shirt. Competency does not equal compensation.
That now, because now we're all on an equal playing field. We don't actually need you for income. We need to know that you're a good person. We need to know that you are self-sufficient, that you are kind, you are emotionally intelligent, that you've gone to therapy, that you have a personality, you have hobbies, you have things that make you interesting. What you come to realize is that men have focused so much on the exterior of the things that they can own, that they've done no work on the inside. So regardless if you are deemed an attractive male in the society with the financial income, if you suck on the inside, no matter what you have on the exterior, doesn't make you a better person internally. And there have been scientific studies that men live longer and live healthier lives when married, whereas women, we gain no benefits. And so really in a partnership, women should really be interviewing men because it actually hurts us than them.
Brother,
I love it. I love it. Just the victim mentality, the victim Olympics where I'm the, you know, it's just so hard for us ladies. I'm just, you know, there's no benefit for us. There's no financial security, safety security, you know, knowing that a man's going to love me in the older years of my life when I'm not as hot as I used to be. There's just no security. There's no upside for women. It's crazy. Why isn't there a female loneliness epidemic? Right now, I think there is. I think we're seeing the rise of the femcell, where women are maybe not celibate because they can sell a bit of that to somebody who cares, but they can't get a man to commit to them. So we need to come up with a whole other word for that. So chat, put some suggestions in the comments, put some suggestions in the chat for what we call the equivalent of a femcell, but when it comes to relationships.
You ever wondered why there's a male loneliness epidemic, but there isn't a female epidemic? Shouldn't we be just as lonely? Aren't there our counterparts? It's actually because we aren't lonely. In fact,
You're a liar!
Most of us felt lonelier when we were with you. The other part of this is women like being around other women. Y'all don't even like being around each other. And in our loneliness, after we realize how many
guys love it. Are you kidding me? Guys love hanging out with their buddies. Chat, put a 1 in the chat if you agree. A fantastic Friday night sounds like just hanging out with the boys. Good old times, right?
Many times you guys were going to keep disappointing us, we found ways to be fulfilled. And in that, we realized, hey, this is a lot more peaceful. What did you guys do? You opted out and you numbed. You leaned into your porn addiction. You never emotionally evolved. You never developed any type of emotional skills to cope with all of the pain, all of the shame, all of the inadequacy that you feel. You men are struggling. And this is why I actually
I'm sensing some projection here, Rebecca.
Can't believe that men aren't against the patriarchy, because you are suffering in the patriarchy. You are drug addicts in the patriarchy. You are committing suicide in the patriarchy. You cannot talk about your feelings because of the patriarchy. You kept getting lonelier and lonelier. And let me tell you, loneliness is what happens when you refuse to grow, but still expected to be loved. And women are...
Bro, this is crazy. I do a call-in show called Are You Delusional? At least once to twice a week. The only people that call in are men. And a lot of times they want advice. I have a hotline you can call. Right here. Got a hotline you can call. You know who calls me? Men. Always looking for advice. Levi, how do I be better? How do I solve this problem? Men are problem solvers at their core. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. So this whole notion that she's like, men don't want to be better. We're the only ones that want to be better. Ladies want to divert accountability and take none of it and say it's always somebody else's fault, boo-hoo, woe is me. The only people that call that number right there are men that are trying to be better. That's it. I've never had a woman call and be like, Levi, what can I do to be a better woman? Not once. And I got women that watch.
Are done. And you want to know what our result is we don't have a loneliness epidemic. We have an entire epidemic where women are realizing that they have much less labor, where they are realizing that they have much more peace, where they aren't emotionally dysregulated because they're not being abused. And women built emotional skills to deal with your abuse. And now look what happened is we have out-evolved you to the point where so many women are like, this is actually better, but we are not the ones that are lonely. You are.
Dude, the projection is crazy, bro. We are not the ones that are lonely. You are. Really? Then why do y'all cry online all the time about being lonely? Shots fired! Why have I been able to make over 400 videos of you ladies crying about being alone? You know how many I've found of men talking about they're lonely? I haven't reacted to a single one. I've made hundreds of videos, bro. Hundreds of videos over multiple years. The projection is crazy, dude. There's a female loneliness epidemic, and it's happening right now, and women don't want to admit it. And, you know, it's sad because I want people to be able to find someone and get into a nice relationship, you know, but it's sad. All right, let's switch gears a little bit. Let's get into some clips on Twitter here. Let me just go ahead and scrag that on over here. All right, mate, what do we got here?
30% of all divorces are black people.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
16% are Latino. This is the largest amount of single black women post-slavery. And so here's the disconnect nobody's talking about. The largest demographic of those who are single are educated, high-achieving black women.
Yep.
And so I know you done found Chef Boyardee, but everybody else is at Cookout and Chick-fil-A drive-thru. Black women who are single and did, here it is, everything the church told them to do. They went and got degrees.
Mm-hmm.
They are walking every day. They drinking water.
Mm-hmm.
They done pull pork it out of their diet. They saving. They go to midweek Bible study. It's still not happening. 30% of all divorces are black people.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. Oh my God. Okay. I saw this and was like, chat, y'all know I got to really get. This is a top health advocate in Wales. I'm not kidding.
You really are a fat bastard.
A person who is from an ethnic minority background, you know, some communities it's actually taboo to, and you know, it's quite a sensitive topic to talk about. So if you're not being able to learn about these things through the medium of school, then where do you learn, you know? And I wish when I was in school we were, you know, they teach us in Welsh back and back about, you know, how to apply for a bank account and how to...
They should have taught you guys a damn diet plan.
Shots fired!
You specifically.
You know, get a job. But what about things like how to check if, do a breast exam? How do I know
How to check your blood sugar, maybe your blood pressure.
if, signs of cervical cancer, screenings, when am I supposed to get those? The things that are going to prolong my life. So why don't we
Prolong your life, honey? The way you're eating already says you're not worried about that right now.
Shots fired!
Good Lord. Bro, I saw this clip and I couldn't believe it. Just wait till you see what this woman does.
My name's Cassie, and I'm addicted to vabbing.
Vabbing.
We put 2 fingers up there. I stick my fingers in my and I rub it on my body so that people can smell my pheromones.
Oh my God, we have fallen so far from God's grace. She's vabbing. So she's sticking her fingers in her and rubbing the juices on her body to spread her pheromones so men will think she's ready for mating. Honestly, for me, I'd be like, who just microwaved some tuna? Did somebody just nuke some salmon? Why does it smell like that? It smells like feet and grits and tuna. What's going on? He's like, you stink. It smells like tuna. That's crazy. So she basically does that, hoping that men will smell her pheromones. This is crazy to me. This is wild to me, bro. Just like guys sitting next to her, just. Imagine how much propaganda was required to make women think this way. Most of them think men are not required to run society.
I don't need a man needs me.
A man should be an option, not a definition.
A man is absolutely not a necessity.
Do we need men?
No.
Why?
Because they suck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay. You got military dominated, electricians dominated, miners dominated, welders dominated, firefighters dominated. Railroad workers dominated. Surgeons, 88%. Farmers, 86%. Sewage workers, 80%. Garbage collectors. Oil rig workers, 95%. Truckers, 98%. Captains, 98%. Bro, you telling me we don't need men? The world would fall apart without men. It would absolutely fall apart without men. A man says he doesn't date women who don't make over $100K a year.
Hey, you ain't never tell me what you did for a living.
I'm a makeup artist.
A makeup artist?
Yeah, a makeup artist.
Hell no. I don't date women unless they make over $150K a year. When there's no way you're making $150K as a makeup artist.
$150K? You tripping? Do your mom make $150K?
She do make $150K.
You niggas is different. You're out of pocket, bro.
I ain't no new nigga. I was born in the 80s. I know my worth. So, like, I need my women to make at least $150K. Mom, this girl's a makeup artist, and she don't make over $100K a year. Should I be dating her? No. Okay, exactly. All right, thank you, Mom. I'll call you back.
Do you even make $150K?
My mom's a doctor. She got a doctor's degree. Exactly, bye. She got her doctorates.
I'm cool. I have my master's.
Okay.
You have your master's, but you're a makeup artist, dude?
Stupid.
What? Dude, this is the biggest problem right here, man. Women are overly educated thinking that it correlates to their worth in the dating market. We don't care. We got a lot of men that watch. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. We don't care what your degree is. I don't care how many degrees you have. I don't care if you have your master's, your doctorate, your bachelor's. I don't care if you have 5 masters, 2 doctorates. I don't care. Are you fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, and submissive and have no children outside of me and you? That's what I care about. You know what men really, really care about? 2 things specifically. What's on that scale and what's in that frickin' mirror. You look good. Keep your weight down. Boom. It's really all you got to do. Most people have a little bit of natural beauty as long as you're not a big back. You know what I mean?
Big back, big back.
He said, my mom makes $150K. She's a doctor. I got my master's. We don't care. We don't care. But do you see how they act? Do y'all see how they act when we throw the same demands at them? She's like, does your mom even make $100? Like they blow it off. But us, we're supposed to be like, yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. I do not make enough money for you. I'm sorry. I cannot afford. Like we're supposed to bend at their will. But then when we say, hey, you should make $100K, we're the bad guys. They look at us like we're crazy. Like, bro, you can't make this stuff up, man. Ain't that right, Loki? Golly. What does the world come to? I'm so glad I got a good woman right now. You know what Cass is doing? Walking up and down the hallway with baby Nichs, getting her steps. Looky free. Sit. Shake. Free. No, I'm so blessed, man. I'm so blessed to have a good woman. So blessed. But I started dating Cass before times were really crazy. Tinder was just at its genesis. It was at the very beginning, you know, Tinder and Hinge and Bumble. So like all these dating apps were just at the beginning. Now they're like staples. If you don't do these, you're kind of dumb. Like you got to do them now just to see kind of where you're at. But then also that's put fire on the flame, or put gas on the flames of hoflation, and now every woman just wants the top like 5% of guys. It used to be 80-20. 80% of women want 20% of the men, but now I think it's like 95% of the women want 5% of the men, and 5% of the men are responsible for 95 or 100% of all the trauma amongst the dating market. So now all these women that they were never eligible for think all men are like this because they're Chad struck. Oh, all these guys did me dirty. Yeah, Chads did you dirty because they had the option to, stupid. Oh, Loki, I was on one today, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. It's always good to have you guys out, man. Until next time. Peace.